What's going on, keepers? I'm Kane and this is Noodle. And we just got back from the Southeast Reptile Expo in Atlanta, Georgia, put on by Bob and Mary Vu. And let me tell you, it was awesome. But for all you ball python keepers out there, you're going to want to stick around and see what the top 10 picks for, well, me personally, were from this expo, because they were some showstoppers. So stick around and see what we've got in store. So for our first ball python, we're going to show you the Super Pastel VPI Exanthic Desert Ghost. Now, this is a triple recessive and a super nice snake. One of the reasons I personally put it at number 10 instead of farther up the list is because it's a Partho baby. And Partho is where a mother gives birth without help from the father. So she gives both sets of genes to the snake. That's why it happens to be a triple visual. But the only thing about Partho babies is they don't end up being very healthy a lot of times or viable for reproduction. So that is one of the reasons why this one is going to be number 10. But nonetheless, it is still a beautiful snake. So number 10, VPI Super Pastel Desert Ghost. Next up, coming at number 9, we have the Pompei. Now this was personally my first Pompei that I've seen in person, but the reason it's number 9 for me is because it's not a new snake and a lot of people have seen it or heard of it, but nonetheless it's still a beautiful snake that's got a lot of work left to be done with. Coming up next at number 8, we've got the Red Stripe Pixel Het Clown G-Stripe. Now this here is something that we definitely haven't seen a lot of. G-Stripe has been around for a long time as a recessive gene, but there's still a lot of work that could be done with it. But the main focus here would be the Pixel. Pixel is a newer gene, and you can tell where it gets its name looking at the side of that pixelated pattern. This was definitely a beautiful snake and worth noting down in my top 10. Coming up next is actually my favorite personal snake of the show. This is a Banana Red Stripe Genetic Stripe. Now it may not be cutting edge as far as the market's concerned, but just look at this snake. Look at the different colors between the yellows, the white on the inside of the alien heads, surrounded by the orange, and if you look, it's got a purple line down both sides of that dorsal stripe all the way up and down the snake. And for the price set that you can see in this photo, I just think that's a killer deal. It was passing all the checks for me. It was passing the grandma test. It was passing the multiple colors and distinguishably multiple colors. It's showing that there's still stuff left to be done with Banana, and also Genetic Stripe is underworked. So to me, even though it's not ranked in at number 1, personally, this was my favorite pick of the entire show. This next one is another example of why the pied game is just not over with yet. This is a stunning example of pied. The Inchy Fire Yellow Belly Lace Pied 50% Het Clown. This snake right here was a killer. And what I really liked is how it brought out the different details in those saddles on the pied and gave something to work with, which I personally feel like that's probably a lot of the lace influence. So maybe that's a route we need to take, moving in with the lace into the pied. But everybody always wants to say that pied is over with and everything's been done, but this was a good example that there's still more work to be done with pied. And a beautiful snake. Next up, we've got this black pewter Bongo Pinstripe Clown. And if you don't know, I'm gonna let you know right now. Bongo is personally my favorite gene, hands down. Bongo is so underworked. I won't say that it's underrated because everybody you talk to likes Bongo. I've never heard somebody say they didn't. But you don't see a lot of it out there, and it holds its value well. So I'm always got my eyes out for something with bongo in it. And this one right here did not disappoint. That zipper style pattern down the dorsal stripe that lets you see the bongo influence from the stripe down the back, while also bringing in the pinstripe. You can see some of the dots on the side, and the zipper effect I'm sure was contributed from the pin, and I'm also sure from the clown, obviously. But pinstripe did not take this over, and also I love pinstripe, and this is just another great example that pinstripe's not done with either. So this right here, probably my second favorite personal pick of the show. Next up, we've got another win for the Banana Cypress Hurricane Clown. This was definitely a stunner. I mean, just look at that pattern down the side and those bright colors. I swear, jeans like banana and pinstripe and pie, people say it's done with. It's been overworked, there's nothing left to do. But time and time again, we just keep getting shown that there is so much more we can do. And let's not lie, the banana always passes the grandma test. This snake was beautiful. It caught my eye from a distance, and I had to go check it out, and I thought that you should too. Next up, we've got a butter black pastel yellow belly Hydra clown. Now I'm not gonna lie to you, this was not even on my radar. I have not taken any account to Hydra. And I should have mentioned, this is number 3 for us. I'm sure you see on the screen. But we're coming down to my top 3 picks. And I think it's an easy tell on why this is one of them. This snake was definitely checking all the boxes. Stunning, multiple gene, cutting edge. I mean, come on, what's not to love here? Man, what a snake. And definitely worthy of the top 3 marker. Alright guys, if you've waited this long, I'm sure you're not disappointed. Coming in at number 2 is the Black Matter. Just look at it, it is stunning. I mean, anything with those sharp, perfectly clean colors. I mean, it's like the bell. A lot of people give crap on the bell, but let's face it, the bell is the king of the ball pythons. What does the new people want? They want the bell, they want the banana, they want the pie. Well, I think Black Matter is definitely going to fall on that role. If you just look at this snake, you can't help but look again. Definitely a stunner, and possibly a hint at what our number 1 is going to be. If you attended the show, you may know what's coming up next, and I couldn't pick any snake besides this. So stick around for number 1. Alright, I think me and Noodle have kept you waiting long enough. Now the Southeast Reptile Expo was a banger. Big shout out to Bob Vu and Mary Vu for putting this show on. We had a blast. There was a ton of people, there was a ton of vendors, there was a ton of amazing animals. Everything was great. And from what I talked to and who I talked to, everybody loved it and hopes it comes back. But this right here for me was definitely the showstopper of the show as far as ball pythons go. This one is one that you're going to have to get a good look at, so we're going to give you the full screen right now. This is the Black Matter Cinnamon Bernhardt Line Black Pastel Blackhead Champagne. This snake is giving me those Motley Golden Child Retic vibes, those IMG Boa vibes. It's just got that whole rainbow black sheen to it. This is a stunning snake. I was blown away when I saw it. And I know that you just saw the Black Matter, but we could not let anything but this have number 1. And I think you would have to agree with me. This snake right here was beautiful and definitely my pick for this show. Alright everyone, I appreciate you watching today's video. This was a ton of fun for me, obviously because I just came back from the show, and this was a little bit different than what we normally do. I really enjoyed making this. And if you attended, let me know. What were your favorite top 10 picks? Did I miss some that you would have picked, or did I pick some that you thought maybe wouldn't have fit in? Let me know down in the comments. But as always, remember, your hobby can bring you joy, but only Jesus can bring you peace. I hope to see you guys in the next one.